Hello, my dear friends and fellow developers. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to continue our journey in which we are discussing different topics related to our LWC framework. In our last session, we have seen like how we can use query selectors in our LWC framework. We also seen different syntaxes which we need to make use of when we are either accessing the elements in which the component owns it or we are accessing the elements in which the data are passed by a slots. So today we will go one step further and see the other way, or you can say the new directive which was provided by LWC, which is kind of an alternative to the query selectors which we have so far previously to this directive. So the directive is refs directive, REFS. So basically now we can access any elements which is in either shadow DOM or light DOM with the help of refs. So what ref does is like basically ref locates DOM element without the use of selectors or any query element that is specified in a template. So now previously what we are used to do is like whenever we want to access any element of an HTML, we have to make use of query selector either with this dot template or normal this dot query selector based on the scenario. But now the same thing can be done with the help of refs. So how basically it works? So basically we need to add an LWC ref directive to an element in our HTML template, and then you have to assign a value, and then we can call that with the help of this dot refs reference. So here we have one code snippet in which we are doing. We have one div element in which we have given the LWC ref as my div. So this first what we say parameter has been fulfilled. Like firstly we have to define an template, or you can say define an element with lwc ref by assigning the value, and then we can call this like this dot refs dot my div. So it will do, it will simply return this div element, and this is how we can access this particular element in our HTML template. So this is an alternative which is provided by our lwc, which we can use to access an element without the make use of traditional query selectors. But there are some key considerations which we need to know when we are working with LWC ref, and that is that we should have to define LWC ref before calling this dot refs. This is first and foremost thing, that it has to be there without calling this. But now let's suppose the LWC ref is not defined in our HTML template or it is non-coexistent. So and you are calling this dot refs. So in that case, it will return undefined as a value. Now the third point is like if you have LWC with same value multiple times in our LWC framework. So in that case, what it will do, this dot ref will fetch the last element of the required parameter which we are passing, or you can say trying to access the last element which will have this LWC ref with a specified value. So this is one thing which you need to consider. The fourth point is like this dot ref is a plain read-only object. So in this case, since this is read-only, you cannot do any addition, modification, deletion of the property in this dot refs. And if you're trying to do so, you will face an runtime error. The fifth point says that it's like LWC ref, we cannot apply it in our template and slot. So this is one of the key point, that in template and slots, we cannot make use of LWC ref. So what is like in normal HTML templates like div, spam, paragraph, all those inbuilt HTML elements, we can make use of it, but not in the case of templated slot. So in this, we have to make a note that LWC ref should not be applied in template and slot. Now, the last point is like we should never use LWC ref with for each and iterator loop. So whenever we are looping or when we are rendering a list in our HTML template, in that case, we should not attach an LWC ref directive to this two iterator directives, which is for each and iterator. If you do so, you will come across compile time error. So these are some of the key points which we need to take into consideration when we are working with LWC ref, or you can say directive ref over here. So yeah, that's pretty much for today's session. Hopefully this will be a fruitful topic for you, in which we discussed like what is LWC ref directive and how we can use it in our HTML template with some example. So thank you very much if you're watching so far. Signing off.